President Joe Biden will urge Chinese leader Xi Jinping to restrain North Korea's worst tendencies and tell him that Pyongyang's arms buildup will prompt an enhanced US military presence in Asia, a senior official said on Saturday. In a Monday meeting on the sidelines of the G20 summit, Biden will tell Xi that China has an interest in playing a constructive role in restraining North Korea's worst tendencies, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan told reporters. Biden will also tell Xi that if North Korea's missile and nuclear buildup keeps going down this road, it will simply mean further enhanced American military and security presence in the region. United States President Joe Biden arrived at Phnom Penh, Cambodia, the venue for the Association of Southeast Asian Nations annual summit and a parallel East Asian summit on Saturday. A bilateral meeting on various topics including the Indo-Pacific economic framework announced this year and security partnership efforts will be held with Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen. He is coming into this set of summits with a record of accomplishment and purpose behind him, and he wants to be able to use the next 36 hours to build on that foundation to take American engagement forward and also to deliver a series of concrete, practical initiatives. Biden's National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan was quoted by CNN. A holiday cruise ship, the Majestic Princess, carrying about 800 passengers with COVID-19 has docked in Sydney, Australia. State health authorities rated the outbreak's risk level at Tier 3, indicating a high level of transmission. The cruise ship returned from New Zealand and was carrying more than 4,000 people, according to the Australian Broadcasting Corp. Princess Cruises, the cruise line, said in a statement that all the guests on board took a rapid antigen test within 24 hours of disembarking and that passengers who had tested positive would exit separately and not take public transport. Australia no longer requires people who have tested positive for the virus to isolate, though local authorities have issued guidance that COVID patients on board ships should isolate for 5 days after testing positive. About 4,600 passengers and crew were on board the ship when it docked, meaning around 1 in 5 had COVID. The outbreak is reminiscent of the Ruby Princess cruise ship COVID outbreak of early 2020, where at least 900 people tested positive and 28 died. Ukrainian soldiers entered the key southern city of Kherson on Friday after Russian forces earlier said that they had completed their retreat across the Dnipro River. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky called the withdrawal of Russian troops a historic day in the conflict, but military leaders also called for caution as the war continues. Kherson was the only major Ukrainian city to be captured by Russia following the invasion in February. Russia says 30,000 troops were pulled out of the region because they were no longer able to send them supplies. Dozens of Ukrainians, some refugees from Kherson, gathered for celebrations on the capital's main square that continued into the night. Jubilant residents welcomed Ukrainian troops arriving in the center of Kherson on Friday after Russia abandoned the only regional capital it had captured since its invasion began in February.